September 4th, 1999, Houston, Texas. The Comets are about to win their third straight championship. Tina Thompson just hit a go-ahead shot with 2.4 seconds left. The crowd is on their feet ready to celebrate. Then Teresa Weatherspoon gets the inbound pass at half court, takes one dribble, and launches a prayer from 50 feet out. The ball hits the backboard, bounces, falls through the net. The arena goes silent. The Liberty bench erupts. And one of the most insane shots in basketball history just forced a Game 3 that nobody thought was possible. That moment is called the shot for a reason. But it's just one of the forgotten plays that prove the WNBA has been delivering chaos since day one. The league's been around for nearly 3 decades now, and somehow the wildest moments keep getting buried under highlight reels of the newest stars. But dig deeper and you'll find half-court miracles, coaches getting tossed from finals games, and rivalries so intense they spark investigations. These aren't the plays ESPN shows on repeat. These are the moments that got lost in the noise. Until now, June 2025, the Indiana Fever are playing the Connecticut Sun in the Commissioner's Cup. Caitlin Clark is having another record-breaking rookie season, but this game turns into an absolute war zone. Third quarter, Clark's being guarded by J.C. Sheldon when suddenly Sheldon's hand catches her right in the eye. Clark's face twists in pain, but she doesn't back down. Words get exchanged. Fans on social media swear they can read Clark's lips saying, "I can do whatever the FK I want to do." Sheldon fires back. Then things escalate fast. Marina Mabre and Tina Charles rush in to defend their teammate. The tension is thick. Play continues, but you can feel something about to snap. Then it happens. After a dead ball, Mabre shoves Clark hard to the ground. Not a basketball play, just pure frustration boiling over. The refs blow the whistle, but here's where it gets wild. Mabre doesn't get ejected. She gets a technical foul and stays in the game. The Gainbridge Fieldhouse crowd loses their minds. Announcers are screaming on the broadcast about how officials lost control. Sophie Cunningham gets ejected trying to defend Clark. Sheldon gets tossed. Lindsay Allen gets her marching orders too. 3 players gone, but Mabre, who shoved someone after the whistle, is still out there playing. The broadcast team doesn't hold back. I'm blaming this all on the officials tonight. It is totally their responsibility. I'm exhausted with this game and the officiating. Fever coach Stephanie White told refs she saw it coming from the first quarter. She warned them to get control before things exploded. They didn't listen. The Fever won 88-71, but the story wasn't the score. It was the moment the league's brightest star got thrown into a brawl that the refs couldn't handle. That wasn't even the most controversial Clark moment of 2024. The Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese rivalry dominated headlines all year, except both players keep saying it doesn't actually exist. The media wants it to be Magic versus Bird. The players insist it's fabricated drama, but the tension is real, whether they admit it or not. It started in the 2023 NCAA championship game. LSU destroys Iowa 102-85. Angel Reese is celebrating near the end, and as Clark walks past, Reese points to her ring finger. Then she hits the John Cena "you can't see me" gesture right in Clark's direction. The clip goes viral instantly. People argue about whether it's trash talk or disrespect. Reese says it was just competitive fire. Clark says she's actually a fan of Reese's game. But the narrative is set. These two are rivals now, whether they like it or not. Fast forward to June 2024, first WNBA meeting between the Fever and Sky. Third quarter, Chennedy Carter absolutely levels Clark with a hip check on an inbounds play. Clark hits the floor hard, the camera cuts to the Sky bench, and there's Angel Reese jumping up, clapping. The internet explodes. Reese celebrated Clark getting hurt. Headlines everywhere. Reese refuses to show up to the post-game press conference and gets fined $1,000 for skipping media availability. 3 days later, she finally addresses it, saying the league's growth isn't because of one person. The subtext is obvious. Here's where it gets dark. Reese reveals on her podcast that she's been getting death threats and racist messages since that 2023 championship game. People have sent AI-generated explicit images of her to her family members. Her uncles forward them to her asking what's going on. She's dealing with harassment that goes way beyond basketball, and she's exhausted trying to explain that she and Clark have been competing since 8th grade AAU and there's no actual beef. Just two incredibly talented players who bring out the best in each other on the court. Clark addresses it in December 2024 after being named Time's Athlete of the Year. I don't get that at all. We're not best friends by any means, but we're very respectful of one another. She points out that they don't even guard each other. How can it be a rivalry when they play completely different positions? But the narrative won't die because the games are too good. They're 5-5 head-to-head across college and WNBA. Every matchup delivers. And whether it's real or manufactured, the rivalry has brought millions of new fans to women's basketball. September 2024, another fight. This time it's Brittany Griner going after rookie Rickea Jackson. The Mercury are playing the Sparks and tensions are high. Griner throws the first elbow at Jackson. Doesn't connect clean, but the message is clear. Jackson, despite being smaller, doesn't back down even a little. She squares up. Words are exchanged. Then Griner lifts her arm again and Jackson bats it away. That's all it takes. Quick slap fight breaks out before teammates and coaches separate them. Both players get ejected immediately, but social media goes crazy defending Jackson. She stood her ground against a bigger player and didn't flinch. That's the take everywhere. Griner caught heat for instigating against a rookie. Jackson became an instant fan favorite for refusing to be intimidated. The play shows just how physical and intense WNBA competition really gets. These aren't friendly pickup games. Players are fighting for every inch of space and respect. October 2025, WNBA Finals, Game 4. The Phoenix Mercury are getting swept by the Las Vegas Aces and desperately trying to stay alive. Third quarter, 2:41 left on the clock. Mercury coach Nate Tibbetts argues a foul call with the officials. He yells something, gets a technical. Then he steps closer and yells, "That's F-seeking terrible!" Second technical, automatic ejection. Tibbetts stands at center court looking confused. He genuinely didn't realize he got tossed. He becomes the first coach in WNBA Finals history to be ejected from a game. After the loss, he doesn't hold back with reporters. It's weak. We were playing for our playoff lives. Most coaches, when they get tossed, you're doing it on purpose. That wasn't my intention at all. I didn't feel like I deserved it. It was bullshit. Kalia Copper and Dewana Bonner also pick up technicals in the fourth quarter. The officiating becomes the story instead of the basketball. Tibbetts calls out the inconsistency that's plagued the league all season. The product is continuing to get better. There are more eyes on it. Officiating has to grow with the league. The crazy part? Phoenix actually rallies after the ejection. They close a 20-point gap down to 6, but it's not enough. The Aces complete the sweep, and Tibbetts becomes a footnote in finals history for all the wrong reasons. August 2025, Connecticut Sun versus Chicago Sky. Two of the worst teams in the league that season going at it. Second quarter, Bria Hartley and Rebecca Allen get tangled up fighting for a rebound. Neither one actually gets the ball, but Hartley grabs Allen and throws her hard to the ground. Allen tries to grab Hartley's jersey on the way down, but misses. Hartley stands over her, talking trash, clearly trying to get in her head. That's when Ariel Atkins enters the scene. She rushes in from nowhere and shoves Hartley in retaliation. Now it's a full situation. Players and coaches flood the court, trying to separate everyone. The refs review the footage and eject all three. Hartley, Allen, and Atkins all get tossed for their roles in the fight. The Sky coach Tyler Marsh blames the officials for letting things get out of hand. Allen clearly got elbowed in the face right in front of the ref and it wasn't called. Then other things ensued. There's usually an incident that goes overlooked that leads to something like that. The same week, a Dallas-Chicago game saw 54 fouls called, the most in any WNBA game that entire season. Arike Ogunbowale got ejected after her momentum carried her into an official following a hard foul. She called it the worst call I've ever seen in my life. The league was spiraling into chaos with fights, ejections, and officials completely overwhelmed by the physicality. October 2016, Game 5 of the WNBA Finals. Los Angeles Sparks versus Minnesota Lynx. This is for the championship. The Sparks haven't won a title since 2002. The Lynx are going for back-to-back championships. The game is tight the entire way. With 23.4 seconds left, Minnesota leads 74-73. The Sparks need a bucket or their season is over. The same week, a Dallas-Chicago game saw 54 fouls called, the most in any WNBA game that entire season. Arike Ogunbowale got ejected after her momentum carried her into an official following a hard foul. She called it the worst call I've ever seen in my life. The league was spiraling into chaos with fights, ejections, and officials completely overwhelmed by the physicality. October 2016, Game 5 of the WNBA Finals, Los Angeles Sparks versus Minnesota Lynx. This is for the championship. The Sparks haven't won a title since 2002. The Lynx are going for back-to-back championships. The game is tight the entire way. With 23.4 seconds left, Minnesota leads 74-73. The Sparks need a bucket or their season is over. Chelsea Gray gets the ball on the right wing. She pivots, fades right, lifts off from about 8 feet out. The shot goes up with 8 seconds left. Sylvia fouls, all 6'6" of her, swats it away. Clean block. The championship seems headed to Minnesota, but Nneka Ogwumike, the league MVP that season, crashes the offensive glass harder than anyone else on the court. She grabs the rebound while falling backward, somehow pushes off her left leg, floats a teardrop toward the basket while completely off balance. The ball hits glass and falls through. 77-76, Sparks, 3.1 seconds left. The arena goes silent. Ogwumike's teammates mob her. Candace Parker, who's been waiting her entire career for this moment, scores 28 points and 12 rebounds to win Finals MVP. But it's Ogwumike's putback that wins the game. She becomes just the 7th player in WNBA history to win MVP and a championship in the same season. The shot is instant legend status. One of the greatest finals moments ever. Except here's the twist. The league later admits Ogwumike had a shot clock violation earlier in the game at the 1:14 mark that the refs missed. Should have been Minnesota's ball. Could have changed everything. But the bucket counted and the Sparks celebrated their 3rd title. These moments define what the WNBA really is. Not just highlight reels of three-pointers and dunks, but half-court miracles that silence arenas. Coaches getting ejected in the finals. Rivalries that may or may not be real, but drive millions of viewers either way. Brawls that erupt because the refs lost control. Rookies standing their ground against veterans twice their size. Championship-winning putbacks that shouldn't have happened but did anyway. The league keeps creating these insane plays, but they get buried under the latest Caitlin Clark stat line or Angel Reese double-double. The history is there if you look. Teresa Weatherspoon's 50-footer that defied physics. Nneka Ogwumike grabbing her own miss while falling and somehow scoring. Fights breaking out in games nobody thought mattered. The WNBA has been delivering chaos and drama for nearly 30 years. Some of it's forgotten, some of it's ignored, but all of it proves that women's basketball has always been this intense, this competitive, and this absolutely wild. The best part? The league's still writing these moments, and the next insane play that everyone will forget in 5 years is probably happening right now.